Hi guys, welcome back, and this is Build the Star Wars R2D2, and this is issue 55. And in this issue we're going to be mounting the motor and doing a little bit more on the leg. So without further ado, let's crack on. Right, okay, in this issue we get another motor, and we get some black fixing screws and some 10mm long fixing screws. We're also going to need the motor cable, which we had in an earlier issue. It's got a large plug on one end, and then it goes into the other end, so we're going to need that also. And we are also going to need this yellow, orange and red cable, which we got in an earlier issue also. Okay, so the first thing we need to be doing is we're going to connect the motor into the wheel where we did the bearing, and then it will fit in one way and then slide that round to line up with some screw holes. And then we're going to be using the 10mm fixings, 10mm fixing screws to secure the motor into place, and we're going to be putting them down in the lower bottom holes, and then the top two holes. And there we go. There's the motor attached. Now, it doesn't say this in the magazine, but I'm going to do it now anyway because it's a pain otherwise. In the earlier issue, when we tested this on the other leg, so we need the battery pack, the test board, and then this cable with the red and black cable with the large plug. Now I'm going to plug this in now, just partial, and then I'm going to test that the motor works, which it does. So it might be worth testing that before you carry on. It doesn't say to do so, but if you remember, this wire gets quite tight, so I'd rather do it now than later on. So now I'm happy that works. We're going to be now getting the cable, which we got in the earlier issues, and we're going to attach that to the motor. Like so. And sorry, I was just thinking we're going to also need the cable ties we got in a previous issue as well. I forgot about those. So now we're going to run this cable and it's going to go underneath this plastic, the plastic part there. And I'm just going to straighten these cables up. There we go. And then, as I say, we're going to need now the yellow, orange and red cable, if I can undo it, which we had in a previous issue, and we're going to be putting the larger plug I'm sure it's the larger plug. Yeah, the larger plug is going to go through the plastic. I sort of remember this from last time, but I'm just double checking. And it wants us to have, it's bringing the cable this way, and we need to have 135. Just going to grab my tape measure. Oh. Okay, yeah, it wants us to have 135 millimeters. From the cable tie. So mine will be there. I'm happy with that. And then what we're going to be doing is securing all these cables down with cable ties. And then they go underneath. As you, if you see, they've got the little holes there so that you can put the cable tie through. I'm just going to move this out of the way a minute. And I've lost my measurement. Okay, and then we're going to fasten that up. Now, if you remember on the other leg, make sure you've got slack in this motor cable so the casing can go on. So I would recommend pulling it right back towards the motor and pulling up, just so you've got a little bit of slack there, and then tighten them up. Just checking my length. Perfect. There we go. And then we're going to do that with the other 3 cables along the leg. I'm trying to make it as neat as possible so that the casing fits on. Because I remember last time when we did the right leg, I had a bit of an issue with trying to get the casing on because of the cables. So I'm just making sure they're on as neat as possible. Okay, and then there's just something so satisfying as well about cable management, you know. Like I build quite a few PCs, and it drives my OCD up the wall. Like if the wires or cables are untidy, I just can't cope with it. Okay, so that's that one, and then just the last one up the end here. Okie doke, and then what we need to do, just going to grab something to snip. Oh, there we go. Grab something to snip these cable ties off with. And there we have it. Okay, so then what we want to do now is we're going to be fitting the casing. So in the picture it's got the sensor cable looping round this pin here. So make sure that's like that, and then we're going to be feeding the cables through the hole. Like that. Pull that silver bit back, and then we're going to fit the leg on. And I've just remembered, you've got the detail here, so make sure that is in place and hasn't drifted like mine just did. And then we're going to fit the casing together, except mine does not want to play at the moment. Ah, there you go. It's finally gone in. And then what we want to do is use these black fixing screws, and we're going to secure that casing together. I'm just going to put this silver part through, and as you see, I'm struggling. It's tight. There we go, it's finally on. Yeah, that was a bit tight. So yeah, we're going to pop that on. And then we need to turn this round and fit the horseshoe shaped part onto the top. Like so. And then we're going to put 6mm screws into all 12 holes, which are the black ones. I'm just checking where it wants the screws, and it looks like everywhere. So I'm going to start screwing these in. So they're going to go in these two here. 1, 2, 3, 4. One's at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And then last screw in the bottom down there. Okay. The next part we're going to be needing is the ankle, which we had in another issue, and then that is going to place on the other side here, and it's going to pop on there like so. Like that, and then we're going to pop this over, and then we're going to put another screw just there. You can see that there's a screw hole just in front of the motor there, and we're going to put a black screw through there to secure that part. Like so. Oh, okay. Now we're going to be needing Oh, these two silver and blue parts detail we got in an earlier issue, and then we also want this part, which we had again in an earlier issue. And now we're going to fit these on. They only go on one way, and you can tell because it goes with the design. So the curve will go with the design on that piece of plastic there. So they just snap into place like so. And then this is going to go in and sit on the back there. Well, make sure this smaller cable goes through like so. And then we're going to be using another 4 screws through that part there. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. So that was it for issue 55. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, and I shall see you for issue 56 shortly. Take care.